Hello everybody, my name's Jack Tesson, you're the viewer, and wow, I haven't done a sit-down video like this in quite a while. No, a sit-down talky sort of video. Yeah, I'm back. Hello, how's it going? I have been uploading one video a week, but I haven't recorded a video in like 5 weeks probably, which is like insane. So yeah, it's nice to be, you know, sitting back in the chair, recording some videos and just chatting absolute waffle to you guys. So yeah, if you haven't liked the video or subscribed already, I'd highly appreciate that, because I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if we don't do that, then I'm just going to be sad. I'm just going to be sad. So make sure you do like and subscribe if you haven't already. So, as you can tell by the thumbnail and title of this video, oh boy, we're going to be talking about a certain film. 2 films, actually. We're going to be talking about 2 films today. And as you guys well, you should know, because you're on this channel, my profile picture on this channel is an Ewok, because Ewoks are my favourite creatures from Star Wars. They're top tier. They're the best. Alright, without doubt. Okay? And back in the day, how long ago was it? So back in the day, right, Star Wars released 2 films. Oh god. They released Star Wars Caravan of Courage, an Ewok adventure, and they brought out Ewoks, the Battle for Endor. Not the Battle of Endor, for Endor. Okay? Now, the first film came out in 1984, which is Caravan of Courage, and the second film came out a year later, 1985. And obviously I wasn't around then when these films came out. I wasn't around when these films came out, because I was born in 1999, when The Phantom Menace came out. So I didn't know about these films until I was, I don't know, I think my dad actually mentioned one of these films in one of my old videos. I think it was actually a video that he was included in. It was my dad playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. So if you haven't seen that video, it's up there. Go and check it out. He actually said in that video about Caravan of Courage. And I asked him after we'd finished recording that video. I said, what is Caravan of Courage? And he was like, oh, it's a film based on Ewoks. And I was like, that's my cup of tea. Alright, because I love Ewoks, right? So, yeah, we obviously know about these films, and we couldn't find them anywhere to watch, because they were that old, you know, nothing out there was, I just couldn't watch it, basically. I need to just, what am I doing? I can't speak today. So yeah, basically, I couldn't watch these films, and I really wanted to, because they're based on Ewoks, and I love Ewoks. But luckily, they brought them out on Disney Plus not so long ago, and me and Dad watched both films back to back, and yeah, they weren't as good as I expected. They were absolutely terrible. But terrible, in a good way, because they were funny to watch. They were that bad, they were funny. So it's not like it was bad as in, my god, it was like absolutely shocking, like just so bad. The fact that it was funny made it better, but obviously they weren't intending to make it funny. It's like a terribly funny film, right? You know, and they would obviously trying to be serious about it, because, you know, it's Star Wars, right? They're not like just making these films just to make them shit. But yeah, guys, I'm obviously I'm gonna be spoiling the films, alright? You know, and if you want to watch these films, I highly recommend you won't, because they're so bad, and I don't want you to waste, right? How long they're like an hour and a half long or something, these films, right? I don't want you guys to waste 3 hours of your life watching these films because they are just shocking. They are so bad, right? So yeah, I'm gonna try and remember how the films went and what I remember from watching the films, and I'm just gonna tell you about it because my God, I need to get this off my chest. So, Star Wars Caravan of Courage. This is probably the worst one out of the two. The Battle for Endor was actually the better film out of the two. Caravan of Courage. Oh my God, I was so hyped for this because Dad was like telling me, yeah, it's a film about Ewoks. I used to watch it all the time back in the day, and I was like, I can't wait to watch this. I watch it, and I'm like, what did I just wasted an hour and a half of my life. I'm never going to get that hour and a half back. So, I'm trying to think of how the film started. So, at the start of the film, I think there were Ewoks at their village. You learn about Wicket's family, because Wicket is actually in this film. And you guys know I love Wicket because he's my profile picture on YouTube. You know, he's the icon of the Jack Tesson YouTube, right? Jack Tesson YouTube channel. And it's him talking to someone, Dad, and then his dad goes off flying on a glider to go and save 2 of the Ewoks or something. It was a really dodgy beginning of the film, but it was just kind of like just kicking it off, right? So they did that, and then it cut to this crashed starship, as I said multiple times in the film. And it was a crashed starship, and it was the mum and dad of the two the two human characters. The mum and dad of this daughter and son. And they were like, oh, where's our son and daughter? Oh my God, we need to go and find them. And then I think either it just cut off after that, they went off to try and find them, or it cut to them getting taken by this massive monster of Endor. I don't know which one it was. I think it was the first one, because I remember it just being like, what is going on? They literally were like, oh God, where's our son and daughter? Oh, what do we do? Oh, they're probably out in the forest somewhere. Let's go and find them. And they walked off and just left their crashed starship. And then later down the line, the Ewoks find the crashed starship, okay, and then go up to said starship, looking around, whatever, and they hear a noise. They're like, oh, what's that noise? Obviously, but not in English, because Ewoks don't speak English. I'll get into that in a bit. And they open up this like trapdoor thing, and there's a little girl in there, Sindel. Yeah, Sindel was inside this trapdoor, and she was coughing, right? I'll get into that in a bit as well. Coughing, whatever, and then her brother Mace comes in and starts going all right at the Ewoks, and obviously the Ewoks win because they're just badass, right? And yeah, they not capture them, but they take them away to their village and look after them. And I swear to God, guys, for about half an hour of the film, right, as I said, Sindel was coughing, whatever. She complained that she was ill for about half an hour of the film. I'm not even like taking the piss. So the first time she was like, oh, I'm ill, coughing. And then the Ewoks give her this medicine. She takes it. She takes this medicine, and it makes her feel better. And then she starts coughing again. And they're like, oh, Mace is like shouting at the Ewoks constantly, going, we need more medicine, because they don't understand English. So, yeah, then and then the Ewoks and Mace go and find some more medicine. And then Mace's hand, you see something in this tree. I'm trying to make this as clear as possible. Mace is looking at a tree while the Ewoks are getting this medicine from a tree. He puts his hand in a tree and he gets captured. Oh, he's like, "Oh, I can't help me," and the Ewoks help him. And then that was it. The cut back to the Ewok village, and give Sindel some more medicine. And she still complains that she's ill. And I'm just like, what is happening? After that bit where they got the medicine and Mace's hand was stuck in the thing, it was like the most pointless bit of dialogue ever. Like, why did Mace have to go put his hand in the tree? And it needed some sort of drama, I guess. So that's why, you know, that they made that whole thing. Oh yeah, just put your hand in the tree and we'll pretend a creature catches you or something like that. It was so pointless. It's so pointless. But then anyway, they end up. Then after Sindel gets a bit better, after half an hour of her complaining that she's ill, she gets better, and then Sindel and Mace end up leaving the village to go and find their mum and dad. Which, by the way, right, let me just go back a little bit. If the mum and dad crashed, right, with obviously the kids in the ship, right, how did they not know that their daughter was hiding inside of the little trapdoor thing? Surely they would have known where their daughter and son is before crashing. Do you know what I mean? You know, and as they were leaving the ship, surely they would have known that Sindel would be... I don't know. How did they not know that she was going to be in there? I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, anyway, Mace and Sindel leave the village, and then they get attacked by this big wolf monster thing, and they hide in the tree, and then they fall asleep after, you know, getting chased by this big wolf thing. And then they wake up, and then the Ewoks are fighting this wolf creature, beat the wolf thing, and then they take Mace and Sindel back to the village, and Sindel's complaining that she's ill again. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm trying to remember. If I am wrong, let me know down in the comments. If anyone's watched these films. But this is what I'm trying to remember it, because it was so bad. Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, can you help us find Mummy and Daddy?" and all this. And then the Ewoks are like, "Oh, okay," but obviously don't speak English. And then they go on this walk for about another half, like the rest of the film. They go on this massive walk, and then there's a part where they're out by this lake, and you see Sindel and Wicket playing together in the background. And Mace puts his hand inside of a lake, and he disappears out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden he's under this lake. And Sindel is stood like miles away, like she's like a little dot compared to Mace, right? Mace is like here, right? Let's say Mace is there, and then Sindel's like over here. This is how the shot looked. Sindel was here, Mace was here. Mace gets popped in there, and she still stood there and goes, "Oh, help, help." Like, how did you see you were playing with Wicket, and then all of a sudden you know he's just disappeared? Oh, and then the Wicket save, and then they save Mace with this magic stick. Where they got this magic stick from, I don't know. Oh. Anyway, then after that, they meet up with this other Ewok who was chopping down a tree and then stopped their little carriage thing from whatever on their journey. And then he threw an axe at a tree, and then the Ewok decided to join them to find the mum and dad. Once again, the most pointless thing, that Ewok could have been just a part of the village and could have just come with them. This film could have been about half an hour long if all this pointless shit wasn't in it. And then after that, they stopped again to rest, obviously, because they've been on this massive walk and whatever. And Wicket's playing in a tree, and then he falls out of the tree. The tree makes a massive whipping noise, or like a whoosh, And then the horses, because there were horses, by the way, right? Then the horses shoots off with Sindel in the carriage for some bizarre reason. And then they're like, Mace is like, oh, help, help. And then you see Ewoks riding horses. I can't make this up. Ewoks riding horses. Picture that, right? It's a thing. It's in these films. Okay? It's in these films. And then there's an Ewok that, I think it was the Ewok that threw the axe at a tree, started chasing after this other horse with Sindel in it, and stops them, and then that's it. Stops the horse from running away even further, brings them back to the camp, and then they go on a walk again. And it's like, oh my god. And I was like, Mace just stood there. He could have just been the good brother he was, could have been chasing them till the bitter end. But no, he just waited at the camp until they got back. He's like, yeah, they're back. I was like, what was the point? There was no point. There was no point whatsoever. And then they meet up with this wizard Ewok, right, which had a magical stick himself, right, and started waving it about and stuff. Oh yeah, that's cool. A wizard Ewok, well done, right? And then he joins them on their journey, and then they go to this big castle. Oh no! Before that, they did like a little ritual thing to find out where their mum and dad are with the wizard Ewok. And they were like, oh, they're captured inside this big castle where this big monster is, right? And they're like, oh no, we need to go and save them. And then they carry on even further, go to this big rock thing with the castle on top, and they blew up a rock because Mace had a gun, he had a blaster with him. He blew it up with his blaster. Go inside the cave, and then they go deeper into the cave, and then the mum and dad are captured inside this container, and then inside this container, and then they jump up, whatever, with a rope. God knows where they got the rope from. And then got them down, and then running off from this big monster because the Ewoks were fighting him off. And then and then the Ewok who threw the axe, right, is like oh no. Before that, right, before they went to save the mum and dad, there was like this big cobweb thing, like a walking across thing. And they were walking across, and then this spider comes down, right? This spider comes down, and then they hit the spider in the face, and then the spider's like falling down from this cavern, which is above the web thing, falling down from this cavern, and he goes, ah! And no, me and Dad watching it, we're dying. We're like, what is this crap? The spider, yeah, looked like it was made of paper mache. I can't make this up. It was shocking. It was shocking. And then anyway, they saved the mum and dad. And then as they were running off, one Ewok was fighting off this big monster and just kept hitting it in the leg. This big, like, God, I can't even, like 30-foot monster or whatever, right? Not even 30 feet, probably about 40 feet. 40 feet, 50 feet tall, and it's like fucking 3-foot Ewok is hitting it with a stick, and the monster going, It's like, you're fucking 50 foot, mate. That shouldn't feel anything. And then the Ewok ends up dying and gives his axe to Mace, because Mace has just stood there watching him when he could have done something, but he didn't. That sequence was about 5 minutes long. No, like 5 minutes of him just doing that, and Mace going, "Come on, come on!" But it wasn't even dramatic. It was just shit. It was so bad. Yeah. Then anyway, the Ewok died, and whatever. Gave the axe to Mace, and then Mace runs off, and he's like, "Oh, the Ewok died." Oh, and then the Ewoks are sad. And then the big monster comes along. They trip him up with this wire. Where they got the wire from, I don't know. Tripped him up, falls in the thing. in the cabin where they walked across with the spiders, and then they were like, "Yeah, we won!" Woo. And then Sindel and the other Ewoks, because Sindel and the Ewoks stayed back. They didn't actually go into the fight. They waited behind, and they were like, "Oh, Mum, Dad, oh hi," huh. And then the monster comes back up from this grave, and then Mace has the axe, and he's like, "Yeah," throws the axe at the thing, and he's like, falls down again. Oh, guys, I can't make this up. I seriously promise you, it was so bad. Right, and then that was basically the end of the film. They saved the mum and dad. Whoopie doo 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 da da da. Right, that's the end of that film. Okay. And then the second film, the Battle for Endor, the Battle for Endor. I can't really remember much of this one because I tried so hard to understand the dialogue of this film. But there was no dialogue in it either, but it was more interesting than Caravan of Courage. But I need to try and remember because this was a few days ago. So I need to try and remember. I did not want to watch them again to do this video because I didn't want to waste 3 hours of my life again. So I'm trying to remember how much of it I can remember. So Battle of Endor starts off with the dad sorting out the ship and whatever, I think. And then Sindel's there as well with him, and they have a little chat and stuff. And then all of a sudden you hear explosions and poof, bang bang, right? And then Sindel's, the dad's like, "Go and check that out." And Sindel's running towards the Ewok village, and the Ewok village is getting raided by these monsters, right? And Sindel's running to her mum and her brother, and they were like, "Oh, you need to get out of here, it's too dangerous." And Sindel's like, "No, I want to stay with you." And they were like, "Oh, hang on, a bit of fluff there." Oh, there we go. And Sindel's like, "No, I want to stay with you." And they're like, "No, you need to go to Dad and tell him to help us and whatever." And then she runs back to the dad, and the dad's been captured and whatever. But when she started running away, the mum, right? No word of it. The mum was just laying on the floor. I'll get into it in a minute. She's just laying on the floor. She's unconscious. And then the brother's like, "Oh, I'm trying to help Mum." And then she runs off, goes to the dad, and then the dad is also captured by this wicked witch, whatever, and by the biggest, baddest monster, right, of this little gang who were raiding the village. Oh God, I'm trying to remember. And then the dad got shot by this big monster thing because he tried to run away. And then all of a sudden the Sindel takes the dad to like a little hiding spot and whatever, and the dad was like, "Oh, you need to run away, you need to run away." And then he dies. The dad dies. Oh no, before that the girl's like, "Oh, mum and Mace are dead." And it's like, how the fuck did you know that? Because basically they've got like the family have got like these wristbands on, right, which glow up. There's 4 little lights to represent them. And she looks at her wrist, and 2 of them are out, which means a brother and a mum died. They were in the film 30 seconds. The mum laid on the floor, and that was it. So she was laying on the floor, like whatever, and then they did the scene, and it was like, "Oh, that's a wrap! That's a wrap for you!" Like, what the fuck? They died. The mum and dad died. I'm not even joking, because they're not even in the rest of the film. They died. Okay? And then the dad also died as well, because he got shot by this ruler of these monsters, whatever. And that was it. The family are gone. They also get captured. Sindel got captured with Wicket and stuff like that. And all the rest of the Ewoks got captured. And then they were getting taken to this palace. And then Wicket and Sindel escape. And then they run away to try and figure out an idea to try and rescue the Ewoks. Okay. And it's like, what? Like at this point, I'm like, what is going on? The family are dead. The Ewoks have been captured, and it's only been like 20 minutes of the film. And I'm like, what's going on for the rest of the hour of the film? Like, what's... Anyway. And then as they're running off, I kid you not, right, Wicket starts to speak. And I'm like, is Wicket speaking English right now? Wicket speaking English? I forgot to mention, in the first film, they had like a narrator, which was speaking, obviously, English for the Ewoks, because the Ewoks were speaking a different language, obviously. So at certain points, the narrator would talk and say what the Ewoks were going to be doing, so then you kind of understand what's going on. In this film, there was no narrator in the battle for Endor. There was no narrator. So they made Wicket speak English. And when I heard it, right, at first I was like, is Wicket speaking English? And then it cut to the next shot, and then I was like, Wicket is speaking English. What is happening? Wicket is speaking English. Where did this come from? What? Where? So yeah, I was like that. I was like, why is Wicket speaking English all of a sudden? It's probably because they didn't have the narrator for the second film, so they're like, right, we're gonna make Wicket speak English. So I'm like, what? I'm so confused. And then after that, they meet up with this old man, which he told them because Wicket and Cinder went into his house and they were like, oh, we should make this our home and stuff like that, because they wanted to like have a place to stay and stuff like that. And Wicket wanted to like go to school or something and stuff like that. And then this old man comes in and is like, oh, get out of my house. Told him to get out. And then they went back in to do chores and whatever. And this old man had like a journey for himself. He was like, oh, he needs this certain part to start his starship so he can fly away from this place, because he's been stuck on Endor for ages. So they were talking about that. And then all of a sudden they go to this castle to go and save the Ewoks, and these monsters have this part that needed to be opened or something to help them with for something, I don't know. And then and that's the part that this old man needed to start his starship up to then fly away off Endor. And then they had this big fight in this castle, which was kind of cool. And then they got the part, whatever. They rescued the Ewoks. I'm trying to remember the stuff that happened before as well, but this is literally all I can remember. They saved the Ewoks and whatever, and then all of a sudden they say goodbye to the Ewoks, and that's pretty much the end of the film. There was a kind of like a story behind the old man and stuff like that, but Sindel, she had nothing. She lost her family the first 5 seconds of the film, and then all of a sudden she goes with this old man back to wherever she came from. I can't make this up. Okay, these Ewok films were terribly funny. Like, there were parts in the first one which are just hilariously bad, and in the second one, like, there was kind of like no story. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about this because I love Ewoks, and I was so hyped to watch these films, and to find out that they were shocking really, like, really bummed me out. And I was like, oh god, and I just wasted my time. So I thought I'd make this video and just talk about the films and what I can remember, and just tell you the funny parts, because it was so funny. But yeah, if you want to watch these films, okay, they are on Disney Plus. So if you have Disney Plus, feel free to watch these films and waste your time. But I personally wouldn't, because they're just so bad. They're really bad, okay? And yeah, if you love Ewoks like me, don't watch them, because you'll be disappointed. But luckily, I still love Ewoks, Okay, because the Ewoks were actually really cool to watch in these films. I'm not going to deny the Ewoks weren't shit. It was just the story made no sense and certain parts made no sense, you know, and it was just funny because it was just like, what is going on? You know, and George Lucas had a say in these films as well, right? And you would think it'd be good because George Lucas is part of it, but it was so bad. But anyway, I am glad I watched these films, you know, but at the same time, I'm just kind of disappointed because I expected a bit better, but they were so bad. But it was good because I watched them with Dad, and it was just a funny experience to watch with him because they were just so funny to watch. Okay, and it's just, especially with the spider thing falling down, I swear it was me and Dad burst out laughing when that happened, and it's just stuff like that, you know, it's just memories at the end of the day, stuff to remember. But yeah, if you want to watch these films, they are on Disney Plus, so go and watch them and let me know what you think down in the comments, what you think of them. If you've seen the films already, then feel free to let me know down in the comments what you think of them. Like I said in the title as well, they are terribly funny films. Okay. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think I went through the whole films pretty much. But yeah, that's all I can remember. They're probably the parts that I can remember. But anyway, hope you guys did enjoy this video. I mean, I do enjoy sitting down and just talking waffle. So that's probably what this whole video is going to be. There's not going to be much editing to it. It's just going to be cuts on stuff that I don't want in and whatever. But yeah, there you go. That's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. There'll be more Star Wars videos and, you know, other videos. I've got loads of videos planned. Alright, that I want to upload for this year, and they're absolute bangers, guys. I got bangers coming to this channel. Okay, so if you're not subscribed, just subscribe. It's down there. If it's red, right? If your subscribe button is red, just click it. Don't make it red. We don't like red. Red's bad. So click red. It's bad. Okay, and subscribe to this channel because I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'd love to hit that milestone. That'd mean the absolute world to me. If we can get more than 3,000, that'd be sick. But yeah, just subscribe if you're a Star Wars fan. Like the video if you haven't already. Share the video around with your friends. And yeah, help me get to 3,000 subs. Alright. So that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, like I said. And I'll see you in the next video. I've been Jack Tesson, you've been the viewer, and may the Force be with you, always.